Heidi Helton's folks, I'm your host, Mr. Scepterstein. Also, you know, that I'm done with that. Welcome back to the finale episode of Let's Play Montezuma's Return, Part 9. We're going to be visiting the level that I have selected at the very, very bottom of the screen called Halls of Montezuma. And I'd like to elaborate on something first before I get into that level, so please excuse me taking a couple minutes of your time ahead of time, because this is kind of important. First, there are actually more differences between this version of the game, 1998, compared to the 1997 version that I'd like to discuss whilst going through the level, but that's not what I want to discuss right now. Right now, as you can see, I've cut my grand total's time down from 2 hours to under 1 hour. And I've actually been going through each of these levels and running them just to see how fast I can complete the levels, because I was very interested in seeing how I can manipulate the game to get it so that I can get through these really fast. And Temple is the fastest I can get it. I mean, that's the, you know, and I'll be showing an example of that in my next kind of thing. I'll be speedrunning 3 levels of this game in one of the epilogue videos that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be doing 2, hopefully. Now, one, I did want to do an epilogue video showcasing all the videos in the game, but unfortunately, only half of them actually work. I thought a lot of them did, but unfortunately, a lot of them don't. The Temple's intro works, and Halls of Montezuma's ending works, and some enemy deaths work, but not all of them do. Whether I'm just doing something wrong, I don't know, but some of them don't actually work, which is kind of surprising. Even though I've checked and verified that there are actually videos for these enemies in specific, they don't work half the time, so I don't know why they don't, but I can't do the epilogue that I wanted to do. So I'm going to be doing 2. I'm going to be speedrunning 3 levels in one and 3 levels in another, maybe. We'll see how it goes and how confident I feel. Because speedrunning this game is actually really frustrating. It's fun, but it's frustrating because I make so many little mistakes that end up adding up to be a lot, and it's really hard. And you can't use cheats during it because it doesn't save your time. So all of these are legit times. So I'll be using some speedrunning tactics in this level, just to get through some of the levels that are, some of the rooms that are a little bit more pain in the ass. But other than that, I'm going to be trying to play through it normally and focusing on 100%ing the level. Okay, so this level here, the Halls of Montezuma, implies pretty much every tactic that you've learned so far, and every gimmick, but amplifies it, and makes it more annoying and frustrating. So I'll be using some speedrunning tactics during these levels because of the fact that some rooms are just better done with them than done normally. For instance, these rooms. This room you can skip pretty easily. Just be mindful when you're doing that. That's actually one of the tactics that I use fairly often to get through these levels pretty quick. Like that there. That's the most ideal way that you can come through that room fairly quick without falling down. And what's nice about that technique that I just used is that you can actually get up that without having to use a cheat or anything. That was weird looking. And it saves a lot of hassle having to go back to the beginning of the room, because that's the kind of thing that happens a lot in this particular stage, is that a lot of rooms are set up specifically so that when you go through them, and if you mess up, you're gonna have to go right back to the beginning of the room again in order to be able to go back through and complete what you were just doing. As I'll show you by looking straight down, you can see that flapping board has swapped sides. So if you mess up going through this, which will happen to you, like that, yeah. See, I can show you now because I messed up. If you kind of angle yourself, I'll be explaining this particular thing in my speedrun segment type of thing. I won't be doing every level because every level is frustrating, but it's frustrating to get a consistent run. But that particular little tactic will help you in that room if you get stuck in there fairly often. But one thing to note about speedruns, and this entire lobby thing is like a maze. I also hate this room a lot. I'm very, very surprised I got through that with minimal damage taken, but... Ooh, I'm surprised I got through that. I'm surprised I got through that with very minimal, like, error. But one thing about speedrunning this game is that speedrunning and score are separate. Now, you'd think, oh, well, that sounds obvious. It actually isn't, because you'd think that it would get the stats from your best run ever of the level, and it doesn't. Oh, that was close. You'd think it'd get the best stats out of your entire run, but no, it doesn't. You can go for a full 100% score, and then you can go for a best time run. So I'll be showing kind of any percent stuff. That was really weird. I'll just be showing kind of any percent stuff as I go through and whatnot in my other specials, and there may or may not be commentary in them. Now, about these enemies, these are also enemies. I love that scream. Those enemies are also enemies that do not have videos for when they kill Max, and that is the last enemy of the game that we'll see that has no video for killing Max. But one thing that I did say that I wanted to elaborate on from the previous levels is that I discovered more differences from the levels without actually playing the game myself. I really should, because I actually have the older version of the game on my computer. I really should kind of go and nope, I had a feeling that was gonna happen. I'll just go through this normally because it's too frustrating to try and run it. I didn't play the game. I have it, but I haven't played a whole lot of it because it's actually a little bit more challenging than this particular version. This version's a little easier in some aspects and a little more challenging in others. Don't go that way because you can't. But what I definitely noticed was that some bosses have actually completely been pulled out of the game. They weren't included in the original version of the game, 1.13. For instance, Dragonfly Dungeon didn't seem to have any of those really large fat guys. In addition to Dragonfly... Oh, but by the way, come down here. There's some gems really nicely tucked away in there that you'd probably forget that they were there. In Dragonfly Dungeon, the big fat guys aren't there, so instead of that big fat guy boss fight, you actually have to fight two of those comma-wielding guys, which I thought was pretty interesting. Oh yeah, these guys are pretty funny. I'm not sure what other levels there were that were like really different. Oh, Angry, I call it Angry Aztec because of the fact that I love the level from, ow. Ow! What the hell? Balls. That's basically the kind of sound that these guys make. I got the name Angry Aztec obviously from Donkey Kong 64, which is also one of my favorite Donkey Kong games of all time. But, no, in Aztec Circus, the only boss in that is Red Glen, which is interesting. That means that Steroid George isn't in the level, which completely alters the flow of the level, because you only have one boss to fight, which is Red Glen. What other levels are there that are different? Because I read up on quite a few different changes. This is also very nerve-wracking to try and get these without falling off. A la reminding me of Monkey Madness there. In addition to things like, you know, ow, whoa, reminding me of things like, this is gonna hurt. Oh yeah, I had a feeling that was gonna hurt. What else was there? There were actually quite a few different things that I noticed, again, in addition to those things. Rat Race is the level that wasn't included. I have now realized that. I kind of had a theory about that when I first played the level. There's a treasure behind here, too. I have a theory about that level, actually. In the whole aspect of it not being included in the original game in 1.13, because with the 3DFX Glide Wrapper 3DFX version of this game, which I've been playing through, the entire Redux portion, if you haven't known yet, has been just playing through the 3DFX version and contrasting the differences between this and the regular graphics of version 1.13, but also the VGA version of this game specifically. I should also iterate that this is version 1.29 of the game, not 1.13. So again, there's more to these levels. The levels are extended. There are more bosses, and just in general, it's more. There's more to the game. But no, I came to the conclusion that Rat Race was the level that was included separate in this version specifically. Now this part's tricky, by the way. Be very careful. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! That was a little tough. Okay, and yeah, you have to kill this guy in order to get through this room because the doors are locked until you kill him. Now, why do I say that? I'll get back onto the point that I was talking about in a second. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. You can normally get this guy to knock you up high enough to get that key, but because both the doors lock, there's no point because you have to kill him first. So unfortunately, we have to do that without him running behind the... I don't know where he's going. Boop. There we go. Now be careful when you come down here because there is a fish tank, but you'll land on the wood of the fish tank if you... Ow. Now it was really funny. One time I came through this level, the graphics glitched up on me in this, and all the jewels in this little water thing became silver, and it was really funny and goofy looking. So, I just thought that was interesting. Now, I'm sure I'm missing some treasures somewhere, so I'm just gonna have a little look around. Why do I feel like I've missed treasures somewhere? Because I have a feeling I have. I don't know why I have, but I have this really weird, like really bizarre feeling that I've lost. Yeah. But no, you can actually notice there's a bit of a difference between Rat Race from a lot of the other levels because of the textures used. Because when you look at things close up, you don't really notice it in this level so much. But in levels like previous levels, like say for instance, Cat Caves is very noticeable. Temple's very noticeable. Lair of the Lava Lord is also very noticeable. A lot of those levels are very, very noticeable. This level's not so much, but one of the biggest differences obviously is the lighting in all of the rooms is different. And when you're underwater, water actually has a contrast on the light as well. Now, yeah, this is the room that will get you killed if you're not careful. Yeah, there's something down there that I gotta... Why did I come all the way up here to fall down there? Oh, because that's what this is. It's been a while since I've played this level, and I haven't 100%ed it. I literally just any percent ran it. Yeah, down here. Perfect. Make sure you try to land on one of these, because it's a pain in the butt when you have to try and... Whoa. I love these guys. Whoa, the lag. Lag got me right there. Whatever, I'll deal with these guys. But yeah, the textures are actually noticeably different compared to a lot of the other levels because they actually seem to be of higher resolution. But yeah, one of the biggest differences you'll notice between this version and the other version, if you hadn't been playing it, or even following this Let's Play, is that the 3DFX version likes doing a lot of neat color lighting. So like boss rooms and mini boss rooms will usually have like a rainbow kind of effect, kind of go on with the disco ball lighting kind of a thing. It's very psychedelic. And I like it. I like that kind of a touch to it. Ow. But in rooms with water, there's a blue light, which is nice. And just kind of general stuff like that. Now let's see if I can get this to help me get back up to the top again. Ah! Son of a bitch! back. I hate this level so fucking much. Okay. I apologize for getting that treasure over there without, you know, showing it. Whatever. I really don't care. I hate this level. I hate it. I hate it a lot. I personally cannot wait to be done with this game because it's getting so frustrating for me to record it. So frustrating for me to do anything with it that I just really wish to be done with it. And it's my fault for speedrunning it. It's entirely my fault for speedrunning it because now that I've been speedrunning it, my perception of the game is that it's incredibly frustrating to do anything in it now because I'm constantly trying to rush myself. I'm constantly trying to get through the level insanely quick, and any mistakes infuriate me. And that's not the way I intended for this Let's Play to go, and that's definitely not something that I intended to have happen. But I really dislike dying in this particular project, and that is going to be really frustrating to try and get through because that is not going to let me past. I came in here to get more health because of the boss up ahead. That's why I came in here. I didn't go in there for no reason. I came in there to get health because this boss, final boss of the game, is a pain in the ass more than any of the other bosses. Because this is Montezuma. The only weak spot on him is his face. Yes, he can conjure up little balls of doomed death, and every part of his body hurts, except his face. And in addition to those balls, he also spits out Georges, as you'll see. Yeah, that's great. Now, Montezuma's head is fairly hard to hit, and don't get hit by those, because one, as you saw, knocks you straight up into the sky. The other one, which has like a tick-tocky... Never mind. That's what that one does. That one doesn't hurt, but it's still annoying nonetheless. That one knocks you. But it can also be used on George, so don't be afraid to use it on George. That one cannot be used on George, because George is dumb. This is the most time-consuming boss because of the fact that you have to be very careful that you don't get hurt by it. Thank you! Holy hell! I'm very fortunate that that didn't kill me. That's the final key that we need, and we can finally get out of this, and we can finally call it a day, because I am so... At least the videos work. Here, you can have the ending to the game. You're an idiot. Yay! I killed 91% of the enemies. What happened to the other 9%? I give up. I don't particularly like that, but whatever. Whatever. I'm not particularly bothered by that. Yeah! So let's get to the bonus round now, because that's the last thing that I need to do, and then I'll start recording my epilogue and try not to get frustrated with it. Okay, now this level in particular is a little bit more frustrating. It's a little trickier than the others because of the fact that you don't screw it up like I just did, nearly. I nearly messed it up, like, big time. Basically, the premise, as you can kind of already obviously see, is to try and collect all of the pearls within the innermost rungs of these things here. And then try to move to the outside in order to collect the diamonds on the outside of the thing. Which is a bit tricky, because it's really hard to know where your wheels are. Where your wheels are. But with some elbow grease and a lot of perseverance, you will make it. Okay. That's, I gotta try and get all these in, like, less than 12 seconds, and that's gonna be tough. Oh god, that was close! I hate that. I hate that particular stage, but that was close. Finally, we're done with the game. I really appreciate your viewership, and you're tolerating me getting really angry with this particular level. I hate it so much. Now I'll be doing the epilogue section, and I'll try not to get frustrated with that either. Excuse me. I can't make any promises. But, yeah. That was basically it for this. I hope you'll enjoy the epilogue sections, because I actually made something specifically for this project that I'd like you to listen to. And you can probably already tell by what it is, because I just kind of gave you a hint. But I'll see you guys back in the next episode, and the final epilogues of this game, and that'll be pretty much it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye!